Bush and in studio with us tonight, Jerry O'Connell from CBS's The Defenders tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll get to that. But Courtney and David, can you believe it?
That was a shocker.
Jerry,
Really, it was a shocker.
Well, how do you explain this? Is she because she's the type A and he's a little all over the map and she couldn't handle it anymore?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. I actually didn't think they were going to break up. I thought they were a really good couple. I actually didn't see it coming.
It's upsetting. I don't like it when marriages fall apart. And
Nobody does.
Do they fall apart more in Hollywood than the rest of the world, or no? Just because the attention's here?
No, they just fall. I think all marriages fall apart. I mean,
hello, your wife may be listening.
Well, listen. I mean, we're staying married for the time being, but I mean,
you might want to back out of this, right?
No, I mean, I'm serious. That was just really upsetting. I don't even know what to say. You know, I know David's getting also in trouble because he went on the radio yesterday and was talking about it, and in retrospect, that probably wasn't the wisest choice, you know, I mean, but, I don't...
Yeah, you don't go on and say, we haven't had sex in 4 months. You know, my wife is not into it. You know, I gave her some lingerie, she let it sit on the counter for however long. Those kinds of things on Howard Stern or any radio show, maybe you want to withhold.
He should have given that interview to you here on this, then it would have been a tasteful situation.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I would have helped him out of it.
I don't know. I just, I feel bad. Also, there's a kid involved. You feel awful about that. It's, I mean, I joked earlier on your show, my wife and I are staying together because neither of us wants to take the kids.
I love that. We have a different situation. You go to court and it says, no.
Yeah, I don't want custody. Anti-custody. Your Honor, I refuse to take these children. I refuse. It's her turn.
Oh, that's funny.
No, we do have situations at home, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'm working on this show, The Defenders, CBS, 10 p.m. on Wednesdays.
That's tonight.
But you know, I've been working a couple hours, so my wife is getting up early with them. My kids are almost 2, so they tend to get up a little early, but we sometimes have arguments as to who has to go take care of them in the morning. You know,
well,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like it's your turn.
And who's more tired? Do you have the who's more tired fight?
Yeah, definitely. And I think my wife wins. She is definitely more tired than I am. I mean, my kids are really, really annoying in the sense that how much energy they take up. I mean, like, really, they don't understand. They're not understanding of sleep, rest, time to go to bed. And you know what? I want to tell you also, I met a lady who I actually went to school with, and she said, how's everything going with you and your wife? This is like last year. And I said, it's going well. And she went, hey man, if you get through these first 2 years with the kids, then you'll stay married. She's like, my husband and I got divorced when my kid was 2. And I was like, really? And she was like, it's really tough. So it is tough, you know, not to bring a downer on everybody.
No, it's true. I've raised 3. I know what you're talking about. The youngest one is 6 years old. We're out of the woods.
That's it.
They all sleep. They all go to bed when we tell them to.
Don't pull that. It gets easier.
Oh, let me rub it in a little bit.
I'm sick of people saying that. Everyone says it gets easier, and it has not gotten. It's gotten consecutively worse every day.
Well, what about the backstabbing and the rumors and the boyfriends and all that? There's a whole new chapter that begins, but for a few years there, you'll have a lull, and it'll be nice.
Oh, you mean because my girls are going to date boys and all that stuff?
Yeah, my oldest one's getting into that. There's a bunch of that crap coming, and Mean Girls, the movie, Lindsay Lohan, Mean Girls. Boy, these kids can be mean to each other and hurt feelings and make them cry. It's awful. Bullying, I'm witnessing it, I'm seeing it.
Well, my kids are only 2, but I did have a talk. My girls are only 2. I did have a talk with them. They're going to be allowed to have sex when I'm dead.
Yeah, you had to talk at them.
When I die, they can get into boys and all that stuff. So they have a while, because I don't plan on dying anytime soon. But they'll be allowed to date and kiss boys and, you know, all that stuff when I die. You want to talk about Brett Favre?
Yeah!
What is the story with that? Have you seen the photo?
I saw the photo and I felt better about myself. And so did you, didn't you?
I just, you know what it is? I don't know if, like, someone should sit Tiger Woods, Brett Favre down and go, okay guys, I'm going to teach you a thing about cell phones, computers, and when you take photos or leave messages, they're going to be out there forever.
And people are going to get rich. Girls, their opportunity is too large.
Well, I mean, I don't even think you can blame the women on this. It begins and ends with these guys sending messages and doing all that stuff. And, you know, I know that Rachel Yucatel got paid off a lot of money to sort of, like, through Gloria Allred and all that stuff. But there was probably a similar situation with, you know, her and Tiger and stuff. And These guys, let me just tell you, Billy, next time you're taking a photo of next time you're changing and you're looking at yourself in your full-length mirror in your closet, and I know you do.
I do.
And you decide to take a photo of yourself just for fun on your BlackBerry. Don't send it out. Don't send it to anyone. Don't tweet it, because once it's out there, Bill, it's out there. That's it. And then we're going to be having the same conversation about you.
Yeah. You're not. This conversation is never going to happen about me.
About maybe a photo we got of you at a Dead show, Giant Stadium, '87.
And people would all be asking themselves, why is Billy Bush tweeting pictures of a light switch? I go, what's the significance of this? I know better than that.
That was crazy, though. I bet he gets into a lot of trouble with the NFL. I bet he gets suspended, and maybe even he's going to retire, man.
And he's never missed a game in his however long, 16, 17 years in the NFL. Never missed a game. He's going to miss one, not for injury, but for foul play.
Sexting.
He's a grandfather.
Is he really?
His oldest daughter he's a grandfather. No grandfather should be sexting.
Now, let me ask you. You have a daughter who's how old? Your eldest?
12.
Does your daughter have a phone?
She has a phone.
Okay. Now, was that a big decision?
We've had major conversations about things that we send and things that...
Okay.
She's so heavily guarded. We watch the internet. We screen TV. She's not allowed to watch Glee. I mean, believe me, Jerry, we are doing a strong job at home.
Okay. Is she allowed to watch The Defenders on CBS Wednesdays at 10 p.m.?
Absolutely not. But my wife and I are allowed to put them to bed, and we are allowed to watch. And we're going to do that.
Let me ask you about the computer and your daughter. That's something that scares me about having daughters and like allowing them to get on a computer and stuff. Do you watch that? What do you do?
We watch it incredibly tightly.
I mean, when you watch it, do you stand over her shoulder and watch it?
No, we're in the kitchen. My wife, she'll say, "Mom, can I go on YouTube?" And she'll say, "For what?" She goes, "I want to watch the animals. You know, the kittens. They have lots of little kitties do the funny things." Yeah, you can do that. All right, Mom, I need to Google something. Can I do it? You can do that. So they're just next door, and she gets right. And then she has this website that they go on. It's called Polyvore, and they have their own profiles. It's like a way sanitized Facebook.
Okay.
With all her friends have pages, and you have to have passwords to get on it. So we watch it heavily. As far as TV goes, there's certain channels that are off bounds. The rules are good, and when I say we, I mean my wife, and you know that.
But no, hey, listen.
I back her up, and she really sets the rules, and she's very good at it.
We got to go back to The Defender.
Okay, we got to go.
Give them some love.
I should also say, in terms of television and raising children, man, I put my kids in front of that TV. I'm pretty bad in that sense that I just plop them in front of the television and just like, it's just I'm allowed to go to the kitchen and go do something. Like, did you ever feel guilty about putting your kids in front of the TV all the time?
No, never. Put them down in front of the TV. You need a moment. And by a moment, you mean 5 hours.
Did you ever force your children to watch the NFL all day Sunday?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I kept feeding them the worst things they could do. Whatever they wanted, I just kept sticking it in their mouths to watch the NFL. Yeah.
Were you told by your wife to only give them, like, make sure they stayed on a gluten-free diet while she left, and then you found yourself driving to McDonald's through the drive-thru every day?
Yeah, I was never told about the diet because we were reversed on that. My wife, is the Doritos Dr. Pepper lady, and said, "They're gonna die. Give them salad." So we're reversed on that.
You're funny, man.
Jerry, you're funny. Let's talk about the show so your publicist doesn't just say that, "Why did we come?"
Yes. No, it was the birth control segment that's definitely being outed.
All right. Tonight, Jerry, 10 o'clock on CBS. Tell me about you and Jim Belushi getting together. I believe they had Jim and they needed the perfect compliment to Jim. Why did it work?
Why did Jim and I work?
Why do you work?
Why do we work together? I went to his house to go talk to him about this role. I really liked the script, and this show, The Defenders, is based on a couple of real life attorneys. It was supposed to be a reality show, and they couldn't air the reality show for legal reasons.
It's like a documentary, right? Wasn't one of the guys named Salisi?
Sagis and Cristalli.
Sagis.
They're Italian-American Vegas criminal defense attorneys. Very flashy guys, a lot of bling.
They got billboards up that say, "Hey, you've been hit by a truck. Give us a jingle."
And they're funny characters. But if you get into trouble in Vegas criminally, these are the guys that you're going to want to call. And they tried to make a reality show out of them, but they just couldn't air it legally, So they decided to make a scripted show, and So I went to Jim's house, and he put on the documentary, and we were drinking, and he got up. He got up in front of his TV and was reciting their lines, like while we were watching the documentary. Yeah, and it was kind of funny, but it was really strange, and I really thought, this, Jim is crazy, this project is crazy, and I was like, I don't know, there's something that seems really fun about it. It seems, I don't know, I'm looking at Jim Belushi, and he's imitating guy. I mean, it's almost like, watching like Scarface and someone doing like, say hello to my little friend, and he's like doing all their lines, like...
It's like there's something about this I got...
It was just surreal. I was drunk, really, and I signed on to do it. And then next thing I know, here I am talking about it.
But there's so many ways people get in trouble in Vegas, and they're so wrong, and they're so funny, and you're so dead with your wife that, I mean, it's a wealth.
A lot of our stories, pretty much up until this time, all of our stories have come from this guy's firm. We have a story this week about a guy that they represented who was in debtor's prison. If you owe money in Vegas, it's the only state, Nevada is the only state, the only place in the world where they put you in jail if you are indebted. Debtor's prison. So they have a guy who won the lottery, millions of dollars, came to Vegas, lost it all, and actually went in debt signing markers. And then my character sued the casinos that he went to, saying that he was targeted because he was a rube, a guy who was a recent millionaire,
and they let him dry, and that
it was coercion. And if you watch the episode, you'll see how my character sort of finagles his way around that one.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a really fun legal drama. Our boss is also a woman named Carol Mendelson who created the CSI franchise, and so she's quite familiar with Vegas, and she's a former attorney or a reformed attorney. And so I think this is almost like all the legal stories that she wanted to tell out of Vegas. And it's a fun, colorful town, and we get to go up there, a few times a season, and that's fun.
Gotta love that, man. The Defenders is on CBS tonight at 10 o'clock. I will be watching, and I will give you a report.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Love you, man.
Jerry, quickly, let's talk about the marathon so we can get this on next week. Okay?
So this will air next Friday before the marathon.
Sure.
Hey, our buddy Jerry O'Connell is running a half marathon for the Los Angeles. It's a rock and roll half marathon.
Now listen, when you say half marathon, that makes it sound
can't
like...
run the full thing, Jerry.
Look. It's over 13. I think it's 13 and a half miles. I mean, that's a long distance.
Can I do a quarter marathon to support you? I mean, really? I just slap a buddy's hand and have him finish?
No, it's for the J.K. Livin Foundation, which is Matthew McConaughey and his wife Camilla's foundation, and it's a great charity, and that's what I'm raising money for. And it's going to be one of these fun half marathons, where they have like bands at every mile. So it's going to be kind of a party, and I really intend on winning this thing. I really do.
I think you run a lot, though, don't you?
I've been kind of training for this one. I'm a little bit ready for it, and I really thought that Matthew McConaughey was going to be running, and I was going to get to beat him, which was my goal. But now I hear he's not going to be in the country, so it's just going to be me leading the charge, and I really intend on being the first across that finish line.
I may go out there and give it a shot.
Good. I wish you luck eating my dust.
Well, I can't keep up with
It's for charity. We're kidding, and we're being competitive with each other, but...
No, I'm not being competitive. To finish is to win for me.
Right. Are you gonna? Why don't you just get a Segway and do it? Why don't you do it that way? But watch out for those.
And hand out orange slices. Hey, you can do it. I'll just be a cheerleader.
Right.
All right.
But
Cool.
watch out for cliffs. That Segway guy died off of a cliff. You hear that? The guy who bought Segway.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? It's like the irony of karma. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Jerry O'Connell. All right. The Rock and Roll Los Angeles Half Marathon is Sunday. And if you want to get engaged, how do people find out about it?
You can go to the website. You can you can go to JK Livin website, which is who I'm doing this through, and you can pledge and sort of get involved that way.
Go to McConaughey's JK Livin Foundation. Hey, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you again.
What a stud.
See you, my friend.